against a team where it's like where the team is specialized in every position and they can't get that one player to do what they need to do. They're not going to win, bro. The reason why I don't want them to win is because I genuinely really, 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 really want Ronaldo to win it this year. And if he does it first.
Ronaldo's not winning that shit, bro. Especially if he
Oh,
plays.
oh,
No. Okay, let me keep it a buck. Ronaldo hurts Portugal more than he helps them. Right or wrong?
That's true. At this point in his career, that's
wrong
true.
in my opinion, I feel it's wrong because I feel like if there was a Portuguese striker better than him, they would be playing. Their next best Portuguese striker is Gonzalo Ramos.
No.
It doesn't really help if there was a Portuguese striker that was actually better than Ronaldo. I wouldn't sit down here and say Ronaldo should start for the.
That's what, like Gonzalo Ramos can't even run that much faster than current Ronaldo.
Bro, it's not. Listen, it's about the system, bro.
Yeah.
Ronaldo hinders the team because he can't press.
Yeah, but then even when you look at
there
the
are
system,
basics. There are basics that you need.
He can't function and do anymore.
Like,
yeah, but then even when you look at the system, Ronaldo benefits there. Even if he may be holding them back, he still does benefit their attack more than Gonzalo Ramos, more than João Felix.
Oh yes, but
for
he's.
Portugal.
I
But
disagree.
hold on.
Just
Hold
off
on,
the
hold
fact
on.
that they
If you
can
watch
press,
the game,
bro. Just off the fact that they can press. Just off the fact that they can press, bro. If you
Exactly,
can't
but
press in 2026, what the fuck are you doing on the pitch, bro? Genuinely.
If what?
this is what I'm saying. And his value as a goal scorer. Remember, JK, we saw him do the last World Cup. Where I thought he wasn't anywhere near as impactful as he should have been. He can't afford to not be valuable in many games of the tournament. He's going to need to provide some sort of output. That's why he's on the pitch.
But then
And if he's not,
even if we may not value that competition, you may not value that competition. He did do that in the Nations League.
Oh my god, bro!
no, I hear.
No.
No, Zach, don't do that. Don't do that.
Because you'll
I
make
hear
fun
what
of
you're saying.
Arsenal fans for bringing up fucking FA Cups, and you're out here talking about fucking Nations League, bro. Be for real, bro.
Yeah, but then I'm talking about a competition where an international competition where countries
exactly.
are bringing their best players to play against another
They do
country.
that. They used to
I'm
do
not
that.
even. Yeah, but
Yo,
then if
we're waiting on ET.
if
Nah,
the best
without him, without him, he can't pull up.
if two teams with their best players and Ronaldo can still score the goals, still get them over the line. See, if Portugal had a striker better than Ronaldo that benefits their system more than even if he may be holding them back, starting Gonzalo Ramos isn't going to help anybody.
No, but
Maybe
that's not
starting
what
João Felix may help
Why
somebody.
I was gonna say,
you just flipped the convo. We were just talking about the Nations League and why it doesn't matter.
No.
Hold on, let me
That's
say
not
one
even
thing.
what we're talking. You flipped the
For example, the Confederations Cup, bro, that they removed it from like 2014 on and changed it to something else. Neymar won that shit in 2012. He beat Spain, the best team in the world. He beat Italy.
I'm not talking.
Hold on,
about
no. Hold on, let me finish. He beat Spurs. He beat Italy. He beat Spain. He beat another European powerhouse. I forgot.
Germany,
But
I think.
in terms of skill, in terms of ability, they had their best teams out there. Xavi was out there. Puyol was out there. Iniesta was out there. Neymar defeated them at 22. Does that add anything to his legacy? No. It doesn't
I'm
mean
not
anything.
talking about that because that's not even what we are talking about. We're not talking about the importance of the competition or legacy. We're talking about tactically. So for Brazil that time, if Neymar could beat the best teams, that means Neymar was doing a lot for Brazil. I'm talking about tactically. If Ronaldo at 40 can play Spain's best team, Germany's best team, and still be able to help the team to get the dub, then he's still doing more, So that's what I'm saying,
Okay, I had misunderstood your point. But then again, we also have to acknowledge the fact that that's a tournament where you take 4 months breaks in between ties.
That's
you know what I mean? Like Ronaldo's 40. Ronaldo might be able to play one-off game, but play 7 games in a row and actually perform. He wasn't even able to do it in his prime. What's gonna make him be able to do it at 40?
Do you think
They have the best team they've ever had?
If you look at this,
2018, they had a great team in 2022.
It's not
okay, but then if you look at
2022 is probably better than this team in my opinion.
I disagree.
No, I also disagree, Conor.
If we go back to 2022, you have João Cancelo, probably the best fullback on the planet. Bruno just had that.
But that's on paper. I feel like 2022 looked better on paper, but then in practice, this team has done more than 2022.
You had Bernardo.
No, but even on paper.
Hold on, let me say something. You had Bernardo Silva, treble winner, one of the best players for City. Ruben Diaz, treble winner, one of the best players for City. João Cancelo, he left midway, but before João left City, he was still the best fullback on the planet.
Damn, he was very, very good.
Like, they still had Bruno. They still had that attack. They had Leao. Leao just won Serie A MVP. They had
Bernardo Silva,
younger Ronaldo who had just dominated the Prem, who is still the best player in the Prem, apparently. Like
Bernardo.
But
I
yo,
understand
now
what you're saying. I understand what
they
you're
still
saying.
have all the
Yeah.
players you've
No,
mentioned, slightly
But they're
older,
older now.
and they have Vitinha,
João
they
Neves.
have João Neves, they have Nuno Mendes, so they still have the best fullback in the world, and they still have two midfielders that won back-to-back Champions Leagues.
and it's not even that. I understand what you're saying, but
damn
that's
near just
for.
the same.
I understand what you're saying, but that's for club. These players for club, yes, they did well that time, but for the country, they didn't show up since even before Portugal won the Nations League. Every time this particular group of players have played together, even in the friendlies after and the qualifiers after, you can see that there is just more firepower in this team for Portugal. I'm not going to deny that, yes, they were good for club back then, but then for Portugal, these players show up more than the players in 2022. That's why now I have more belief that they can be able to get over. The only reason why I can say they may not get over the line is because Ronaldo is actually 41. If they had a better striker there, then it would have been better.
I think
I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, so I think two things can be true though, because I do think that the 2022 team was very, very good. There's no denying that. I do think this squad in particular has more cohesion though. They play more like a team now than I'm seeing. This is the best, most cohesive chemistry-based Portugal team I've seen in a long time. Like there seems to be a genuine plan when they play. I didn't think this before in the previous eras.
Tactically superior than this.
Exactly. And I don't even rate Roberto Martinez. I don't think he's a great coach necessarily, but the team as a whole is playing as a better unit than they were before. And I agree with you that squad was very good in 2022. That was very, very underperforming team based on
I feel like Ronaldo fans Ronaldo fans are very similar to LeBron fans. They'll hype up those players before the tournament, and then as soon as the tournament ends and they were wrong, all of a sudden those players were shit. Literally before the 2022 World Cup, all the edits, Portugal about to win, Portugal are the favorites, Ronaldo fans talking their shit. It's the same shit with LeBron, bro. LeBron, the season starts. Oh, Rui Hachimaru's a baller, bro. DeAndre Ayton's a baller, bro. We got all these niggas. We finna go crazy. As soon as they're asked, oh, you see, LeBron always got trash teammates.
No, but the thing is that even if I'm speaking for myself, even if that's not what I did, but then you just said it yourself. Ruben Diaz was coming off a treble win. Bernardo Silva was coming off a treble win. This would make all these Portuguese fans believe that, okay, this is the year. These players, Rafael Leao, Serie A MVP, they are going to hype them up. And then when the Serie A MVP doesn't show up, when the treble winner doesn't show up, when those guys aren't showing up, it's like, you know, if it feels like you're genuinely fighting. Even if I can't lie, Ronaldo didn't show up as well, you know.
That's what I wanted.
But then it's like, you know, if Ronaldo can't show up, then the treble winners can't show up. Who's now going to show up? You know, nobody showed up.
Cool, I agree, but I don't disagree with anything that's been said. What I'm gonna say right now is completely unrelated. It's a question. It's a genuine question. When we look at that, though, we look at consistently they go into it on paper. They have good players. Ronaldo has good help. These players are technically good. Is that not hindering Ronaldo's legacy? Because if hold on, to me, all the players that Argentina had in the 2022 World Cup, right? Paredes, Alvarez, Enzo Fernandez, etc., an aging Di Maria, Otamendi, all these players. These players would be nowhere near the best team in that tournament if Messi's not on the pitch. If Messi's not getting the best out of Enzo, if Messi's not getting the best out of this, that, the third. To me, that enhances his legacy. So when we're talking about looking at Ronaldo, Ronaldo has this help at his disposition, no matter the context. When we're talking about greatness, like we said last episode, if you don't win, it doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter if you don't win. We acknowledge that. So does that not hinder his legacy more? I feel like to try and act like, oh, Ronaldo's the victim, whereas he's not just as much to blame, if not more than the other players, because he is the GOAT. He is to that standard. So he's supposed to get the best out of these players. When we try to argue that because of Ronaldo's play style, he can't be the GOAT, Ronaldo isn't a maestro, Ronaldo doesn't make the team tick, that hinders him. Those types of players will never be able to be better than Messi. They'll never be able to be better than Maradona. When we say that, y'all counter those points and y'all find shit to counter those points. But when it, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah, what I'll say is that if you want to answer that question, then we have to look at his entire Portuguese career. For a majority of Ronaldo's Portuguese career, he has been Portugal's best player. Now he's this 41-year-old who has players who are better than him and who does have that help. But then when you are looking at that help and they're like, okay, he has the Vitinias, he has the João Neves, he has the Nuno Mendes. If they are not able to then supply that help, then I'm not sure if that particularly has any impact on if Ronaldo is, because we would agree that Ronaldo is old. So it's like, okay, yes, we should be holding him to this standard. But then the other people who are on his standard, we haven't seen their ability to play at a World Cup at his own age as well. So there's not really any comparison that we can make.
In
So it's like,
2022, hold on. In
no,
2022, how old was Messi?
Like 35,
yeah,
35.
35 and 41.
30 to 30.
But what
Like,
was
Messi is 30. I said Messi. Neymar is 34 right now. So
cool.
that's
Okay, cool.
yeah. So
Let's
what
say-
about it's not like
let's
as
say
if
how it
no,
is.
I'm
Nah,
not-
Messi, what, 4 years ago? Messi was 34, yeah.
So
Okay.
what I want to say is like, even if, see, put your bias aside.
I'm a Ronaldo
No,
fan.
I'm not talking about your bias towards Ronaldo. Put your bias aside for like competition in general.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you do not value the Nations League, it is not like as if we have not seen this team. The help, Ronaldo with the help. It's not like we haven't seen them win something. So it's like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Like
So
they
it's
can play to that level, is what you're trying to say.
yeah. So they if
I get what
the
you're
time
saying.
comes, they know how to play against the best
Oh.
teams. And
Okay, my
Yeah.
counter to the point we were just talking about like the age, how age factors in it.
Mhm.
Impact. My thing is, go back to 2014, right? You would say Ronaldo's team is mediocre, but Ronaldo's losing to the US. The US led by Clint Dempsey. Clint Dempsey has less help than Ronaldo, bro. Clint Dempsey outperforms Ronaldo. Ronaldo's at his peak. In 2006, for example, Ronaldo wasn't even the best player on his team, arguably. That's the furthest he ever got at the World Cup. In 2016 at the Euros, you could argue Ronaldo wasn't even the best player on his team. To me, Renato Sanchez was Portugal's best player for that tournament. So when you win, you're at your peak. You're not the best player, arguably. When you were a youngster, you were outperformed by aging Figo, this, that, the third. Now when you're old, you have the help. You can't get the best out of them. Or is it not just us making excuses at every stage of this?
but then that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
What
Okay, so-
excuses
so
have been made?
what?
What? That
What
he's too
excuses
old,
would-
that the other guys didn't show up, that when he was in 2014 is that his team wasn't good enough. When he was younger, niggas say the team wasn't good enough, even though he wasn't the best player.
I've never me personally.
I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm
Okay,
talking
generally. Okay, so
Okay.
I feel like, okay, if we look at football history, I feel like we have to see this World Cup because it's in my, as a Ronaldo fan, I can't exactly answer that question because it's like, if I'm not going to talk generally, talking about myself. Every time
Yeah.
Ronaldo lost in an international competition, aside the 2022 one, I never really blamed anyone. I was just like, they were the better team and Ronaldo couldn't get the team over the line and then they lost. I feel like we have to see this. If Ronaldo is 41 and then he has all the help in the world and then they still don't win, and then there's nothing to blame him. Okay, then Fez, we can use that as something that's like, okay, even if he still has the 2 international trophies, it's like, okay, he's
No,
still
but the
could-
thing, it's
he's
not
still
even
could-
that. I think he has to perform no matter what. Like, for his legacy. Like, even if they win, and even if they win, if he doesn't perform, it's still a stain on his legacy. If
But
like they
hold
win
on.
despite him,
Ronaldo has 0 good World Cups, bro. Ronaldo
Exactly.
what I'm
No,
saying.
exactly.
But
Adding to that point.
life. And this is the biggest stage. This is
But
the
hold
end
on.
all be all for every footballer, bro.
I feel like it's just unfortunate that he doesn't have those good he doesn't have any good World Cup campaign, and then it's like
No.
now he's still 41 and we are still expecting. I feel like it's just unfortunate, but I'm not going to make any excuses about it. I just feel like it's just unfortunate that
Steven,
we are still going to expect shit from him. But yeah.
Yeah, DK, I wanted to ask you, isn't there a stat that Ronaldo hasn't scored a single World Cup goal past in the knockout phase? Isn't that true?
doesn't have a GA, not even a goal. Doesn't have
Yeah,
a
like I'm not misremembering than that. And I think for me personally, having grown up watching all of us watching the 2 goals go back and forth, for me was the only thing I was ever able to label to people who would be standing Messi. Firstly, I'm a Messi. I stand on the side of Messi being the out and out goat for sure. But I think what I was saying at the time when I was younger, when things were closer, is because of Ronaldo's club career. Internationally, I think he's underperformed his entire career based on the standard of player that he is. And I say this because if you look at what Messi was able to do in the different rounds of many different World Cup competitions, we've seen almost consistent input and output of him being effective for his team, whether they drop out in the quarterfinals, semifinals, doesn't matter. With CR, who I love to death, by the way, I think Ronaldo's one of the, we know this, is one of the greatest players of all time for a reason. But I think for his club, he was able to get the best out of, no matter what, he'd be able to give you something. And with Portugal, there's a lot more hit or miss moments. Like I haven't seen enough of the, he's going to be, for example, you guys know the game where Juve played against Atletico Madrid and he texted the group chat saying before the game, I'm going to score a hat trick today or whatever. And he did, and they helped Juve get to the next round. There's not been a moment like that with him internationally where I'm like, oh, I know for a fact he's about to step up now and it's going to be his game or his time to really reach his pinnacle of being an elite, like world class, like, renowned superstar of football. I haven't seen it happen for Portugal. And if I'm crazy, I'm crazy.
I agree, bro. Like, to me, I always get ridiculed by younger fans. Well, I'm young too, like by people my age for saying this. But to me, Ronaldo is the fourth best player of all time. Like, and it's strictly because I value the World Cup to a certain degree. And I feel like Ronaldo and Ronaldo fans we're the only generation of football fans who don't value the World Cup like it should be. We try to make excuses. You've played 5 World Cup tournaments. I think if we're talking about ability, Ronaldo is better than Maradona. He's better than Pele, obviously. But if we're talking about greatness, I'm never putting Ronaldo over a guy like Maradona, bro. A guy who dragged the team, who is beating European powerhouses, who had all the resources in the world. This guy literally took a few bumps and cooked all the European teams, bro. Like, no matter how you want to flip it, I'll never be able to give Ronaldo that second spot. I'm sorry, bro. That's just how I see it.
I think the moment, because of the fact people don't care so much about the World Cup era as much as they were in the past, Ronaldo's club legacy has carried him to a far extent. And to be fair, if that's what you value more as a fan, then it's fair to put Ronaldo in that competition of being one of the greatest. Because the Champions League, the CL, Mr. CL as people call him, is what's going to give him that like standing ledge that no one can really chat to him about. No player in modern history has achieved as much as he has in that competition and in that part of football. But internationally, I agree with you, Conrad. The World Cup, the year, especially the World Cup specifically, it's extremely underrated, bro. People don't give it enough credit for how players can perform in that competition and add it to the legacy to being like cementing themselves as the GOAT.
Yes, but at the same time, I feel like it also lets players get in conversations they don't deserve to be because of like one good tournament. Like, and then James Rodriguez of the
What conversation does James Rodriguez?
Like I'm not talking about in 2026, obviously, but like up until like 2020, bro. Like for 6 years after the 2014 World Cup, like people were talking about James like he was a top 5 player in the world, top 10 player in the world.
That's not true.
I think it was short.
All right, I disagree. Like, I genuinely like James. People were talking about James like he was great.
I get what you're saying, but like,
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll say
even if I don't really have like, football is opinion based, to be honest. So even if I don't really have response to you guys' arguments, what I would say is that I feel like if he is able to win it this year, then because it's like for the longest time, even if Messi did score the goals for Argentina in the World Cup and in the Copa America, but for the longest time, I remember when I was a kid, I would always see the news about how Messi can't win anything with Argentina. That Messi even retired with the he retired from the Argentina. No, I'm about to finish. Messi even retired from the Argentina national team. Before then, he was able to come back. Then he won the Copa America. Then he won the World Cup, and that was all fine and that was well. But even if Ronaldo has never had that, like the standards that you guys hold him to, that type of international tournament, I feel that the fact that he still puts in these conversations of what's the word of like being the GOAT just shows like the magnitude of like himself, the career he has had, and even the fact that even if Portugal was still able to do stuff before Ronaldo, even if he hasn't really had that output of the goals and assists in the World Cup, and but we cannot deny that Portugal after Ronaldo's introduction have been a significantly more dangerous team than before him. So we can look at the impact there and be like, okay, they have been a regular in they don't miss World Cups, they've won trophies, they've won
Yeah.
this, they've won that, So,
Yes.
but then
honest.
for the argument of okay, yeah, he hasn't had that World Cup tournament, that Euro tournament. I'm just praying and hoping as a Ronaldo fan he can have it now. And then if he can have it now
Yeah.
at the age that he is at, then yeah.
No, I agree with you, JK. I think Konrad might be the only person up here that doesn't have Ronaldo top 3. Or am I wrong?
Probably.
No, I don't
Yeah,
agree with
yeah,
that
yeah.
necessarily. No, I can
Yeah,
see what he's saying, but I share that.
No,
feeling.
like I think it's fair. Like I understand your criteria, but like
Yeah, most people of this generation disagree with me, but like I said, bro,
it's not a bad take.
like yo, the thing is, it's like okay, gang, you played 5 World Cup tournaments. There's no way you can try to flip it and tell me at every single one of those World Cups there is a valid reason as to why you didn't perform. Because anything you can throw at me, I'll give you a player who had that same problem and he fucking overperformed, bro. You're the GOAT. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? You're the best who's ever stepped on a pitch, apparently, allegedly, in what? Like, Clint Dempsey's outperforming you in your prime?
I hear you. I just think that this is like for you specifically, like this is the one criteria you care about so much more above the rest. So it's like that's why it's like you hold it even you have it. You know what I mean? It's like
No, but that's my whole point is that this generation is the only one that doesn't. Any generation prior the World Cup is the end all be all. It's always been the end all be all. And the only reason why that's the case is like JK is saying, the magnitude of Ronaldo's career. He's so good, he's flipped the criteria, arguably.
Exactly, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
But like to say that that's not the standard is crazy. You're literally a victim to Ronaldo flipping
I think Ronaldo is just an exception to the rule, bro. That's it.
That's what I just said, dude.
He's agreeing with you.
Agreeing.
Yeah, he's agreeing with you.
Yeah.